Let's have a drink together to pass the time while you're waiting, eh? On me.
That's kind of you, lad.
One beer.
Good luck, then. Good health.
Here we are.
May it serve you.
You look like a fellow who's been around. Tell me, what's going on in the countryside? Are the roads safe?
Oh, it's safer in the province now. There was a pack of enemy cutthroats holed up in Pribyslavitz, north of Talmberg. Mercenaries, bandits, cumans, and other rabble. But we attacked them and smashed them to pieces. So yes, the roads are safer now.
My word. And who led the attack?
Sir Radzig Kobyla, the royal hetman. Let's drink to Sir Radzig.
Yes, to the bold Sir Radzig Kobyla.
And Captain Robard of Talmberg was there too, fighting bravely. We must drink to him too.
To the brave Captain Robard.
Well, there was a band of brigands on the rampage in the province. They attacked the stud farm at Neuhof, killed old Smill, the owner, and torched the stables.
So it's true then. I heard some talk about it, but I thought it was exaggerated. Maybe I should take an escort with me.
A dreadful sight it was. Hellish. Let's drink to the memory of poor Smill.
May he rest in peace.
Pour me an ale.
Sigismund's hordes attacked Skalitz, razed the castle, pillaged the whole area, and slaughtered a lot of people.
I heard, lad. I heard. God have mercy on those poor souls.
I lost my family that day. They killed my mother and father.
Let's drink to their memory then. To your dear mother.
To Ma.
And your good father.
To Pa. Did you hear what happened in Merhayed?
No? What happened there?
Some bandits attacked the locals.
God have mercy. It seems that's the lot of decent folk on this earth. Some fucker thinks he can take what he wants by the sword, and there's damn little you can do about it.
Ah, but the villagers weren't such an easy mark. They stood up to them and put up a fight. They even managed to take one captive.
Good on them. That's what those bastards deserve.
But it didn't end with that. Some pestilence broke out, and people thought it was the plague.
God have mercy on us.
It turned out it wasn't the plague, though. Those murdering bastards poisoned the wells there.
The low-down whoresons. They ought to hang. The lot of them.
Let's drink to this. May all the whoresons get the end they deserve, whether by blade or by rope.
May they die screaming. And while they live, may their mouths turn into arseholes.
That'd save us all a lot of trouble. You'd know right away who you're dealing with. So, you're going to Kuttenberg, eh?
That's right.
That's nice. I've never been there. What's it like?
Ah, it's great. And it's packed with... But the city elders are troubled.
May you arrive there safe.
May it... Ah, said it.
Well, enough chat. How about a little game?
Sure. One little...
Ah, not... Ah. Let's do it then. 3
That's cool. You're a brave soul, taking me on. I'm not used to losing.
Am I invisible?
It'd be
Over
faster
here.
if you closed
Here.
your eyes and threw. I might as well go and... It'd be faster if you closed your eyes and threw. I shouldn't have pushed it. Don't be such a coward.
Here, enjoy it.
No one ever died from throwing dice, you know. We'll see. Now I'm for the chop. No one ever died from throwing dice, you know. That's it. This'll be the one. That's all. Dice is made to be thrown, not to sit on the table
Take the
ignored.
nail for me.
We'll see. Finished. Come now, fortune favors the brave.
Here we are.
Sacre. Time?
You can.
Sure. What? Our wager.
I'm in.
Oh dear me.
Your fame precedes you, but you won't get the better of me. It'd be faster if you closed your eyes and threw. That'll do me. It'd be faster if you closed your eyes and threw.
Christ, those
Nah,
I'll show you.
you.
But I do.
All right, just remember.
Don't worry.
Pull me a nail.
St. George, guide my hand. Dice is made to be thrown, not to sit on the table ignored. Knowing my luck, I'll never repeat that. That's it. No point in pushing it. Remind me never to play with you again. That's it.
Surely the shop...
How would you know if you've never...
I was just thinking, if you really... If you had double that...
Your fame precedes you. Over here.
But you won't get the better of me.
Hey, wake up there. Christ, I'll have to get my own ale.
Not afraid of anything, eh? Not afraid of anything, eh? Curses. Why did I even start this game? This'll be the one. We'll see. Damn! Don't be such a coward. We'll see. That's it. This'll be the one.
I'll be back in 2 shakes.
Groschen for me.
Herrgott! 600 groschen. Oh my god, what have I done? That money was for buying cloth. What shall I do now?
Actually, it wasn't by chance that I ran into you. It was the Virgin Mary who sent me to you.
What are you talking about? Are you trying to make a fool of me?
No, I mean it. My friend Johanka has been visited in her dreams by Our Lady, and she's been passing her message on to the people about amending their ways and repenting for their sins, like playing games of hazard, for example. You see how easily you were tempted into wagering everything you had on dice? You're bringing misfortune down on yourself and your family.
Yeah, you're right. I got carried away. But what am I to do now?
Repent and do penance for your sins. Ask God for forgiveness and swear by the Blessed Virgin never to pick up dice again.
You're right. My passion for dice has gone too far. I'll do what you say.
And give me those dice, so they don't tempt you to play again. I'll throw them down a well where they can't put sinful thoughts in your head.
But those aren't just any old dice that you can get anywhere. They bring luck. Well, mostly.
Ambrose.
I don't play with them much. I keep them hidden away for special occasions. Oh, all right. Here you are. Listen, Henry. The money you won from me, do you think maybe I could get it back? I've learned my lesson, I swear. But now I have to go and buy that cloth, and I can't pay for it.
I'm glad you've seen the error of your ways, but you're not getting your coin back. That wouldn't be much of a lesson. This way you won't forget in a hurry.
I beg you, please. If I don't buy that cloth, I won't be able to make those clothes for Sir Sebastian. That could finish me as a tailor.
Oh, all right. If it means so much to you, have your coin back. But go to church as soon as you get to Kuttenberg and beg God for forgiveness. And say a prayer for me while you're at it.
I will, Henry, I will. In the finest church in Kuttenberg. Thank you.
You won't be hurting anyone anymore, as long as you stay there.
Welcome, Henry.
Well, how did it go with that husband of mine?
I played him and took him for everything he had.
I see. So he played again.
I had a heart-to-heart talk with him, and in the end, he promised he wouldn't gamble again. He even gave me his dice.
That sounds promising. Thank you, Henry. But what about the money he lost? Did you give it back to him?
Yeah, I gave it back to him so he can buy what he needs.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Henry.
Good afternoon. Good luck, then.
the love of God! What have you been doing?
I went to see the tailor's wife, like you wanted.
Oh, and how did it go?
I think it turned out well. Ambrose admitted he was overdoing it with the dice playing and promised to quit.
That's great news, Henry. You've helped him and his wife a lot. Thank you. You're a true friend. I think this is exactly what the Blessed Virgin wants from us.
How are things going otherwise?
You wouldn't believe what happened. One of the bathhouse wenches came to me.
Oh? What does she want?
She said she wanted to find a different job. Something more virtuous. She said she decided to change her life after listening to me on the square.
See what you're capable of? Our Lady didn't pick you for nothing. You help everyone around you. I think you're really great, Johanka.
That's very sweet of you, Henry. Thank you. If only there were more like that, though.
Yes, indeed. I might know of someone. There's this prostitute in Ledechko. Adela, her name is.
And how do you know her?
I happened across her by chance when I was tracking the Neuhof raiders. Don't look at me like that. She was mixed up with one of them and I had to question her. I wouldn't say she was particularly happy there either.
That sounds promising, Henry. We should try and help her.
But how?
I'm not sure, but maybe we could persuade her to give up what she's doing and find a different job. If she works at the baths, she'll surely have knowledge of some basic things.
What basic things? Laundry?
No, she'd know about healing wounds, health-giving decoctions, bloodletting and the like. And I could certainly use a second pair of hands here.
Well, if you think so, I can go there and see what I can do.
Henry, please try and convince her. I can find a place for her here. God be with you.
Good evening. God be with you. Jesus!
got some. I hope you won't.
Thank you. I brought you something.
Thanks.
I'm at your service.
God be with you.
God's sake. Good luck then. If I didn't...
Wouldn't you like to take a stroll?
I'd love to.
Listen, Teresa. There's something I ought to tell you.
What is it? What's troubling you?
I'm not quite sure how to tell you, so I'll just spit it out. So Radzig Kobyla is... my father.
And King Wenceslas is my cousin. Oh, you really had me going.
No, I'm serious.
What? But, Henry, how on earth could...
I know. It was a shock for me, too. It turns out Sir Radzig and my mother had some... romance. Of course, he couldn't marry a commoner.
And your father? I mean the blacksmith. God, that sounds so odd. I mean Martin.
He knew Sir Radzig from way back. Martin... Pa married her before I was born. To protect her reputation. And raise me as his own.
And Sir Radzig allowed it?
Sure. Actually, I get a feeling the whole thing was agreed between them. Sir Radzig was glad she wasn't left alone with a child.
My God, Henry, that's just... And what will that mean for you?
I honestly don't know.
You don't know?
Well, it all depends on Sir Radzig, doesn't it? As his illegitimate son, I don't have any rights as such. Well, it's not like I've suddenly become a noble like Capon. And even though Sir Radzig has publicly acknowledged me, well, sort of, it hasn't really changed anything.
And if Sir Radzig decided to make a real noble of you, would you want that?
I wouldn't. And it's never going to happen anyway.
Why not?
A bastard remains a bastard. Even if Sir Radzig never had another heir, all his property would go to the king by rights.
You might be right, but can't you imagine it? Would you still care for me, a common millmaid, if you were a nobleman?
Of course. I'll always be fond of you. Nothing will change that.
I'll remember that. I hope you won't regret those words.
No fear of that.
Time passes so quickly with you, Henry. Come and see me again sometime.
Show me what you got concealed.
Why?
For security reasons.
I'm here on important business.
Yeah, all right.
God almighty.
God save you. God be with you.
Can you teach me?
Certainly.
I want to achieve my...
You can't become a master overnight.
I want to achieve...
You can't become a master over...
Well... I'd like you to show...
Certainly.
I want to achieve...
You can't become...
Well... Can you help me with...
Certainly.
I'd like to...
All right, but... Now, take care.
Oh, Hal. Are you going to the meeting with Margrave Jobst as well?
I am. What about Istvan? I assume...
That we didn't catch him? No. Because if we had, you'd be the first one to know. Have no fear. We'll get him eventually.
I hope you're right. Anyway, let's go and see what Jobst wants from us.
My lords, Christ's blessings on you all.
And on you, Lord Capon.
And this is my son, Henry.
I didn't know you had a son, Sir Redzig.
It came as a bit of a surprise to young Henry, too.
This gentleman here is John II of Liechtenstein, a member of my council.
I'm honored, gentlemen.
Come join us. Margrave Jobst was just about to tell us the reason for his visit. Your Grace?
I'm sure we're all agreed, Your Graces, that all this unrest must come to an end. This kingdom needs a king.
The question is, which king?
My cousin, Wenceslas IV, who is being held in captivity.
I have to confess, my lord, that your answer surprises me a little. If I'm correctly informed, until recently you sided with your other cousin, Sigismund.
That I cannot deny, and I have always stated my position plainly. But times have changed.
How have they changed, Your Grace?
Sir, there is one thing on which we undoubtedly concur. That King Wenceslas, unfortunately, did not inherit his father's gift for governing. Sadly, his failures have cost Bohemia, the nobles, and our whole Luxembourg family a great deal of money and effort.
How did the king let it go so far, damn it?
It's in his temperament. He cares only for wine, women, and the hunt. A king, in fact, who never wanted to be king.
Then why didn't he just let his brother have the crown?
Young sir, the crown weighs heavy when there are duties to be performed, but to surrender it means giving up great privileges too.
But he did surrender power to his brother. When things started getting out of hand, Wenceslas appealed to Sigismund for help in restoring order.
What, you're saying Wenceslas invited him here?
This is starting to make my head spin.
Actually, it makes sense when you think about it. Sigismund wanted to re-establish the power of the whole House of Luxembourg. He thought if he helped Wenceslas win the imperial crown, in return his brother would help him become the king of the Romans, and leave the actual reign of Bohemia and the empire to him. Sigismund would govern, while Wenceslas could carry on doing what he was best at, enjoying the life of the imperial court.
Why wasn't Wenceslas crowned Holy Roman Emperor long ago? He was already elected king of the Romans. All he had to do was go and let the Pope put the damn imperial crown on his head.
Who knows? Maybe he'd prefer hunting and consorting with bathhouse wenches to spending time with the Pope.
Well, so would I must admit.
Sigismund's plan seemed sound enough, but it didn't quite work out, did it?
It worked for a while. He and his brother reached an agreement. Sigismund took over administration of the kingdom and began planning Wenceslas's journey to Rome for the imperial coronation. But then Wenceslas realized he would just be a puppet with a crown.
I must say, Margrave Jobst, Wenceslas and Prokop behave rather like naughty children in need of a good clout about the ears.
Sigismund would agree. He was already planning his rule of Bohemia, and all of a sudden, the rug was pulled from under him. I'd say he lost his patience and decided he'd drag Wenceslas to the coronation kicking and screaming if he had to. Just like a naughty child, as you say.
So he abducted him and your brother Prokop too, if I heard correctly.
Correct.
And you helped him do it, if I heard correctly.
Yes, your graces, it's true. I was there when Sigismund abducted Prokop. I thought everything could somehow be settled, that we could make my brother see sense. But Sigismund just wanted to put an end to the dispute once and for all, whatever the cost. There was nothing I could do to stop him. And that's one of the reasons why I'm here. The worst of it is that it was all for nothing. Instead of putting a stop to the revolt, it escalated it, and the result is this chaos we have today.
That's true enough, sir. But I must admit now, I'm not sure what your position is. The king is incompetent, but we must protect him?
The simple truth, gentlemen, is that for all of Wenceslas's faults, we have no one else.
So we'll have to make do with his idleness.
People like him, though.
But what can we do now? Sigismund has the League of Lords behind him. Otto von Bergolf, Heinrich von Rosenberg.
The situation has gotten completely out of control. Now even the nobles of the League of Lords are realizing that Sigismund wasn't the right choice.
So now Bergolf is on your side. Are we to assemble an army together with him and face Sigismund on the field of battle?
We're not in Hungary now. Such affairs may be settled elegantly, without unnecessary hostilities or expenses. I have negotiated an alliance with the Hungarian bishops, the Polish, and of course the Czech nobility, against Sigismund. Every day he is losing the ground under his feet, and that's why I need your help too.
What kind of help, though? Sigismund has a massive army, and Rosenberg, Berghoff, and Prague are behind him. Do you have an army you could face him with?
But that's not what I mean at all. There's been a revolt against Sigismund in Hungary, partly due to my efforts, and now he'll have to choose whether he wants to gain the Bohemian crown, which is a very risky enterprise, or hold on to the Hungarian one. He can't have both. And there's a tough struggle awaiting him in Hungary. I'm not sure he'll win, and Rosenberg and Berghoff know it too. They're not stupid. If the Bohemian nobility stands together, they will turn.
We are men of little consequence, Margrave. Radzig here lost everything because of his alliance with Wenceslas. Sir Divish came within a hair of the same fate. Even Rattay is defenseless against Sigismund and the League of Lords.
What's more, Your Grace, King Wenceslas languishes in captivity in Vienna. He can't rule too well from there.
And what do you propose? To sit with your arms folded till the Bohemian lands are turned to ashes like Skalitz? We have to put a stop to this senseless war!
And do you know, sir, what the true position of the League of Lords is?
I'm not on the best of terms with them at this moment, so you'll have to ask them yourselves.
Yes. Why not? I'll go and visit Berghoff at his castle and we'll see what he tells me.
You know, that's not such a bad idea, young sir.
True. Though a little risky.
I doubt Berghoff would harm a blue-blooded envoy. And you can find out what he has to say about developments and what the League of Lords is planning. Then we'll decide what to do next.
I'll help you compose a letter to him.
I'd like Henry to come with me.
Why not? He's proven himself an able investigator, and he'll also be a good bodyguard if anything should happen.
And I'll send Sir John here to Kuttenberg to be my eyes and ears there. I believe both your reports will help us get a better grip on the situation.
When can you set out?
Just as soon as I've packed my things.
Excellent. Margrave Jobst and I will draft the letter. Get ready, and we'll meet back here.
I expect it would be best to write it in your name as Lord of Lipa.
Quite so, Margrave.
What exactly am I to write?
Oh, what isn't really the issue. The question is how. We need to learn where they stand on liberating the king and ousting Sigismund. If they'll make trouble or join our side, but...
But we have to ask in a way that won't leave Sir Capon being run out of the castle with a whip.
Exactly.
How about writing that you're concerned about current events?
So, it looks like you're off on a mission.
Yes. I can't wait.
I don't want to dampen your spirits, my boy, but watch out. These are evil times, and who knows what can happen along the way. Not to mention that Berghoff is no saint.
Don't worry.
I know. You've shown you can fend for yourself, but do take care. You'll be traveling as Lord Capon's bodyguard. You'll be there to make sure nothing untoward happens to him. Keep your eyes peeled and your ears wide open. What Berghoff tells you is one thing, but what you see may be quite another.
Rest assured, Father.
And don't get embroiled in anything else. Just hand over the letter, hear out his reply, and return.
Yes.
Very well. Berghoff is at Trotsky Castle. I think you'll find it quite an eye-opener. It's one of the finest castles in the land. It's 3 days' ride from here, so unless you hit a snag along the way, you'll be back soon enough. Any questions?
I'm getting a bit lost in the Luxembourg lineage. It all seems a bit too tangled.
The Luxembourgs have ruled the Empire and Bohemia for almost 100 years now. Emperor Charles brought this land to prominence. When he was in power, things had never been so good. Wenceslas and Sigismund are his sons, but by different mothers. Jobst and Prokop are their cousins. They were entrusted with governing Moravia, but instead, they've been in a bitter armed feud for years, and now Sigismund's fallen out with Wenceslas. Wenceslas also had another brother, the youngest, John of Görlitz, who was most probably poisoned. They seem like a hot-blooded lot. It's hard to keep up with their affairs, since they tend to change their alliances from one day to the next.
Who is he really, this Jobst?
The cousin of King Wenceslas. He's the Margrave of Moravia. I admit I don't know what to make of him myself. Until recently, he was allied with the League of Lords. For a time, he even served Rupert of the Palatinate against the king. And now suddenly, he's reversed his position. I don't know what led him to do it, and one can't help being suspicious. It's best to keep a watchful eye on him, but he really is the leader of the resistance against Sigismund these days. We'll just have to see how it all turns out.
I'm a bit concerned so many people seem to think so little of King Wenceslas. You knew him, didn't you? What's he really like?
Well, there's no straightforward answer to that question. He certainly makes a great hunting and drinking companion, but he can be very fiery and impetuous when things don't go how he'd like them. He never had much of a head for high office. He finds it tiresome. But once a man's grasped the scepter, it's hard to let it go again. You can't just abscond. You've seen for yourself what happens when he disappears for a few months. Better a bad but legitimate king than a bloody war over the throne.
Who is this Prokop that Jobst spoke of?
Jobst's brother, the king's cousin. He and Jobst warred over Moravian supremacy for years. Then they were allies for a while, betrayed Wenceslas and sided with Rupert of the Palatinate. But after Sigismund abducted Wenceslas, Prokop fomented a revolt against him, and Sigismund had him captured. Politics. Make of it what you will. I, for one, can't make head or tail of it most of the time.
The League of Lords and that Berghoff we're off to see. Who are they exactly?
The lords of the powerful houses. Heinrich of Rosenberg, Otto of Berghoff, Heinrich of Radetz, and others. They're unhappy with the way their influence declined after Wenceslas surrounded himself with the lesser orders of nobility. They abducted the king years ago and made him bow to their will. They got away with it that time, and now they've joined forces with Sigismund and done it again. But now it seems that Sigismund's behavior is starting to rub them up the wrong way, so they may well be thinking twice. We'll see what Berghoff has to say.
I don't know all that much about Sigismund.
He's the king's younger brother and king of Hungary in his own right. 7 years ago, he led a crusade against the Turks and was defeated at Nicopolis. Some say it was due to the recklessness of the French knights, most of whom were mercilessly slaughtered. Sigismund is ambitious and capable. He might well make a better ruler than Wenceslas, but he's arrogant, and to our misfortune, brutal. Not long ago, he himself was held captive by the Hungarian nobility. They dislike him as much as some of the Czech and German noblemen do his brother Wenceslas. Ironically, Wenceslas joined forces with Jobst to liberate him. And now this is how Sigismund repays his brother. There's no doubt about it, God does move in mysterious ways.
Rupert of the Palatinate. That's a name I hadn't heard before today.
Rupert is the Prince-Elector of the Palatinate.
What's a Prince-Elector?
The Prince-Electors are dignitaries of the Holy Roman Empire who have the right to elect the King of the Romans, who would then be crowned Holy Roman Emperor by the Pope. Rupert took the title for himself with the help of 3 other prince-electors, even though Wenceslas had already been appointed. Some of the nobility in the empire recognized Rupert's claim, but when he went to Rome to be crowned emperor, it turned into a fiasco. Now he's doing his utmost to get Wenceslas to acknowledge him, but so far without success. So, now we have 2 kings of the Romans. Jobst sided with Sigismund for a while, but now he's switched allegiance. He seems to do that quite a lot.
That young man, Sir John of Liechtenstein. Why is he here?
The Liechtensteins are a powerful Austrian family with estates in Austria and Moravia. Sir John sits on Jobst's council. Since the king's being held captive in Vienna, I suppose it makes sense to have a powerful Austrian house as allies. It could be very useful.
That's about all.
Very well. Take the letter from Sir Hanush. And good luck, son. So what do you think of it all, Sir Divish?
I think I don't know what to think.
That makes 2 of us.
If I didn't know anything about Yost, I'd say he's right.
Good God, you look terrible. Did someone attack you?
I've heard too much about it.
See you later.
Likewise. I do feel it's the one with the best chance to put things right.
Well,
So, what do you think of Margrave Jobst, Bernard?
From what I've heard about him, I wouldn't trust him if he told me rain was wet.
I feel so.
I believe we have written it well, gentlemen.
Without a doubt. No one could deduce from this whether we are Sigismund's allies or foes.
I must travel back to Brno now, but soon I will go to Brandenburg and I will stop here on the way back. By then, Sir Capon should be back and we can discuss how to proceed.
Right. Before you leave, my lord, there is one thing that gives me no rest. Why did Sigismund come as a foe? It makes no sense.
If I may, sir, I think I can explain.
Oh, please enlighten us, young sir.
I live not far from Hungary, where Sigismund reigns. It is a savage country, and the constant war with the Turks has hardened the people. They need a monarch with an iron hand. So when Sigismund felt the wind of revolt, he reacted as he would at home. Only what works on the Hungarian nobles does not work here in Bohemia.
Bringing order is one thing, but slaughtering and pillaging with a horde of barbarians quite another. What purpose does that serve?
But Sigismund did give the Bohemian nobles a chance to take his side. It was only when they refused his ultimatum that he lost patience and took to the sword.
As for the barbarians, he could afford nothing better. The Hungarian nobility would gain nothing from joining his campaign in Bohemia. He didn't have enough coin for a regular army, and so he recruited the Cumans. What he does not pay them, they make up for in plunder.
But in the end, he didn't have enough to even satisfy the Cumans. That's why he raided Kuttenberg and Skalitz. He wanted the silver.
That makes sense.
My lords, how's the letter coming along?
It's done.
Then we can be on our way.
Now remember what we said, boy. All you have to do is deliver the letter, listen to the answer, and come back here. Don't provoke Berghoff in any way.
Provoke? Me? Never, Uncle. We'll be back in a few days. Farewell, your graces. Come, Henry, my men are waiting.
I wish you Godspeed.
Come now, Hal. My men are mustered in the courtyard. We can get going.
God be with you.
I got fucking everything.
Wonderful. Come with me.
Farewell.
What's taking them so long?
I really don't know.
Ready? Good. Now put it on.
Well, definitely an improvement.
That's good. That's really fucking good.
You don't think it's too much?
It's perfect. If I met you at night, I'd shit myself.
That's exactly what humans look like.
Says the man who's never seen one.
Well, I mean, that's exactly what people think humans look like.
It's not too bad. It's not too bad at all.
We're only just getting started.
Got it for you right here.
How's trade?
Nothing we can't have.
Have you heard the latest?
One or two things. That wily fox is giving you the...
That sounds like admiration.
You've got to admit...
You're not an easy man to figure out something.
No.
Would you know of any...
As it happens, I was just going to tell...
So, tell me.
Now and again, the fisherman from Talmberg comes around here with some game to sell. There's more and more poaching going on there, and they're always looking for new people.
My pleasure.
Sounds good to me.
All right.
Thanks. I hear you're...
Certainly.
I'd like to...
All right. Now, see you later.
My humble greeting.
Is Adela still...
What do you mean by working?
Well, you know, at the baths.
You pig. Are you not ashamed of yourself,
Oh, God, no. I want to take her away. So...
Oh, I beg your pardon.
Thanks.
And sorry about that thing. Take care. Good God. What?
Is Adela...
What do you want Adela for?
Yes.
How should I know?
Goodbye.
What are you looking for? You'd better not disturb anyone here. I've got an important guest.
Christ! Is that Adela crying in that room?
Aye, it's a bit unpleasant.
Unpleasant? That fellow is beating her up.
The gentleman is a little on the rough side, but he pays well, and the bruises will heal soon enough.
I want to talk to her.
You can't now. The door stays locked, and the key stays safely with me. Wait until tomorrow.
She could be killed in there. And do you think the bailiff wouldn't hold you responsible, sitting here and doing nothing to stop it?
You really think she could be? God almighty. Here, take the key. Please, help her.
Thanks for your seat. Now stop your damn carry-on. Are you yanking my pizzle? I said get out.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm here for Adela.
For Adela? But I paid for that whore.
Don't call her a whore.
She fucks for money, you idiot. She is a whore.
Now you've fucked up.
Take that.
Dobra Della. Now. Shit!
What in God's name have you done?
I saved you.
Oh my God. Henslin will kill me if Marouche doesn't first.
Everything will be all right.
All right? You said that about Hinnock when you were looking for him, and he ended up dead.
Leave this place. I'll help you.
What? Why? What are you on about?
You don't have to live in this rat hole anymore. We'll leave together.
Who gave you that idea?
Johanka.
What Johanka are you talking about, for God's sake?
She's from Skalitz, like me. Just an innocent girl.
They all claim that.
But she really is.
How could you know that?
Because maybe the Virgin Mary speaks to her.
What?
The Blessed Virgin started visiting Johanka in her dreams.
Visiting?
Well, that's how Johanka put it. Like visitations in which she spoke to her.
But why would the Virgin choose her to speak to?
It was only on account of her that the wounded from Skalitz got to Sasau. Although they didn't have it easy there either.
I heard they took them in at the monastery.
Aye, but they didn't exactly bend over backwards to help them there. Johanka had to take care of them on her own. Most of them wouldn't have lived without her. But when I came to see her the first time, after Skalitz, she was destroyed. and they wanted to drive her out of the monastery. She could have just gone. But she didn't want to stop helping the others.
But what's any of that got to do with me?
It was Johanka who sent me to you. She had visions at night, and according to these visitations, she believes she has a duty to save sinners.
And you believe in these visitations?
Yes, I believe.
I'd like to believe too.
Well, why don't you try it then?
How? Like I should just drop everything here, pack my things and go off to see someone I don't even know?
Why not?
It's madness. It's like starting all over from the beginning.
And why did you become,
A prostitute.
Yeah.
If you're expecting to hear some touching tale about a poor girl tossed around by fate, you'll be disappointed. I didn't want a husband, and I needed money.
So just for money?
What do you think I do it for? Love? Have you got a problem with that?
No. Everyone has to make a living, but you don't have to be a bath maid.
So what else should I do, in your opinion?
You can just find yourself a different livelihood.
Why? What's wrong with the one I have?
Haven't you ever thought of doing something different?
Like what?
Well, wouldn't you like to help the sick?
That's a lot of work, isn't it?
Yes, but you'd have nothing to be ashamed of.
I suppose not. I'm not sure. I don't think it's all that bad here.
What about when you get older? Do you think the men will still come to you?
That's true, unfortunately.
You can't go on like this forever. You could catch some nasty disease.
What do you know about such things?
I've seen plenty, believe me. Maybe too much.
Oh, sorry. I try not to think too much about that.
Well, maybe you should. The apothecary in Ratai could tell you a lot about the ailments people come to him with.
You know, you might be right about some things.
So you'll leave it?
But how? Where would I go? What would I live on?
Wouldn't you like to help in the infirmary at Sasau Monastery?
Would they let me?
You're a bath maid who knows something about healing. They'd be glad to have you.
But where will I live?
Well, there, of course. It's modest, but you'll have everything you need.
I'm not used to much anyway.
See then? I reckon you've nothing to worry about.
All right. Will we go right away?
We can go right now. Come on then.
All right. I'll just say farewell to the girls and pack a few things. Mother of God, I'm all in a flutter. To pack up and go, just like that.
You're doing the right thing. You'll see.
God be with you.
I told you I wasn't done with you yet. I'll hang you up by the balls from the nearest tree, and then I'll get what I paid for from that farmer.
You call that...
Come here, Lily.
Bollocks!
To cry.
You'll get one for.
You've got to be kidding!
I'm going to enjoy you.
Get him!
Well, I never. The pigs will slaughter.
What's the matter? Come on! I'll slaughter you. You're dead.
I'm gonna enjoy this. All that combat.
I told you I wasn't
What
done
are
with
you
you
doing?
yet. I'll hang you up by the
Tired
balls
of life,
from the
are you?
nearest tree, and
Bring
then
it
I'll
on.
get what I paid for from that harlot.
Is that all you got?
You call that combat?
I'm gonna enjoy this.
You'll get what for. Christ! Is that all you've got? Ah!
Will we keep going? Henry? Will we keep going? Are you all right, Henry?
Are you alright?
Yes, I'm fine. It's you. And are you all right?
Ah, just a scratch or two.
Good. The sooner we go, the better.
Let's go then.
God be with you.